Summit. Chris is getting in the car. We just checked out of the hotel.
Welcome to Vlogmas Day 3.
Wow.
Shades herself.
True. That's all I have for you. We're about to go get food and coffee.
I'm getting a bagel today.
Me too. Yesterday, we both made the decision to not get bagels, and I regretted it. I don't know about you. I regretted it.
I got celery.
Well, listen, I thought that I could get a bagel at Starbucks, but I couldn't because she was mean. So all I had was a piece of lemon bread and a teriyaki stick.
I want to know how they can't sell bagels because they are in a Safeway, but they can sell croissants when Safeway sells croissants too. Just saying.
I just think that Safeway bagels are better.
Safeway bagels are better.
Metal? Wow. English is hard.
Safeway bagels are better. I just thought that I would get a bagel in their little $5 deal, and I didn't. I was upset. I wanted a bagel. The lemon loaf was really good though, so I wasn't that mad. But anyways, we're gonna stop ranting about bagels now. Welcome to Yakima.
To move people into relationships with one another and with Him. And every time we do that, we're validating God's image in us.
This isn't the old virus you're thinking about. This is the gospel. Yes, we are talking about the gospel revival. With that, we are so glad that you have been with us, Westsiders, that you have driven over. But we just want to be sure that you guys are here to spread the gospel, not to spread the virus. Please, wash your hands, do the elbow fives, whatever you guys got to do. But we are so excited for you guys to be equipped to go back home to spread the gospel. That we begin to glean from one another, the church down the street, the people on our team. Hey, that pastor you're having a hard time with right now, why don't you just sit down in his office and just start asking him some questions? Not in like, so why do we do the things we do? No, can you just try to maybe learn a little bit? Collaboration is to literally learn and to hear other people's thoughts back and forth.
They won't stop. Just do it. Yeah. Just cave in. They literally won't. The sound. They're like confused. No, they're talking about it.
They're like, do we do it?
Which one are we prepared for?
Do one that's fast so we can jump. That's only one.
Okay, so
We're at Mod. Hey.
Food hanging out of my mouth.
My name's Haley now.
Mine's spelled wrong.
Megan's, is yours spelled
like-
right? Yeah.
yeah, because he asked.
He asked,
too,
yeah,
and he
and
still
still
spelled
did
it
it wrong.
No, he literally was like M-E-G-A-N, and I was like
Yeah, he goes-
M-E-G-H-A-N, and he was like, oh, and I was like,
He goes M-A-L-I in Diego, M-A-L-L-Y.
It's because he was already spelling it, like, and he asked you, like, later than when you should have. Because he had already wrote the I when you said Y.
he's trying his best.
Yeah.
That's okay because we have an Arby's we go to, and every time I go, they get my name wrong. One time it was Bendy.
Bendy.
B-E-N-D-Y. Bendy, because I said Mindy.
Bendy. You're not Bendy. We're here. We've reached Hobby Lobby. We're looking for journals, and I have too much paper.
I'm gonna cry.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that not remind you of anything?
Hello. So I literally don't think that I have vlogged since Hobby Lobby, but I just got home from Summit. It was a part of like events that kind of sucks, is just coming home to such a different environment and not being not like having your full attention on Jesus anymore, you know, like real life hits, and just not being around like 3 of my favorite people in the whole world, and not, you know, just being at Summit. I'm excited to be home, but I'm also sad about it. But Summit was so good. I got a lot of healing from a sin that I've been struggling with, and the shame of that, and from some anxiety, and just, I feel like I'm walking out freer and with a renewed mind. I feel like God really just reminded me that I isolate myself a lot, especially when I'm struggling, and that we are meant for togetherness. We're meant to be in community, both with God and with people around us. And I have been in a very dark place since camp. I isolate myself, and I couldn't pull myself out of that hole alone. And so leaning on the people around me that I trust, and leaning on God, and instead of leaning on myself, I think has been great. And just like hearing that, and being reminded that I have to put that into practice has really helped. What's funny is that Hannah Hardesty, who's a youth pastor in Idaho, she's part of our network. She's friends with Chris, and she is like a rock star. Like, she's like everything that I want to be. Like, she's so cool, and just so like on fire for the Lord, and like a great youth pastor, and she's great. And I had a word for her at Summit, which was crazy. Like, we were gonna have her pray over us, like our group, our whole team, because like they do communion on Saturday or on Friday nights, and then, you know, like the people that are there, part of the network, that are giving you the communion stuff will normally pray over your team. And so we went to her thing, and we were gonna have her pray, but stuff happened, didn't work out, whatever. And so then afterwards, Chris was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. I was actually cool, because then I prayed over us, and it was like this cool moment of like before that actually happened. I'm just telling you all the stories now. Before I went up to Hannah, like, you know, they had said from the microphone, like, communion is open now, go up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Chris was like, I'm going to put you in charge of when we should go up there, and telling Hannah what to pray for. And I was like, okay, cool. And it was like this moment of like, those are very simple tasks. But I feel like, especially in ministry and leadership, I have been functioning at the lowest level that I can, and doing the least that I can, because I have been so not okay. And struggling so much in those areas. And so just to have like that little bit of like, you're in charge of this, even though it was a very small thing, I felt like I was reclaiming what God is asking me to do. And I felt like it was reclaiming like my ministry and my calling and my leadership. And then the fact that Hannah didn't pray over us, and that I prayed over us instead, I think just really solidified that, and that solidified that like God is calling me to do something here. And as much as sometimes I want to quit, and as much as I've been convincing myself for months that I should, He doesn't want me to. And I can tell myself that I'm not good enough for this as much as I want, but that's not true. I'm not good enough. It actually is true, but God is so good, and He makes me enough, and I don't have to be good because I'm called, and I don't have to be good because God's asking me to do it, and I don't have to be good because God is with me, and He's the one doing this. I'm just the vessel. And so, anyways, I like got off on a tangent there, but I don't know. That was a cool moment from Summit. I don't know. But yeah, the point was that afterwards, me and Chris went up and prayed over Hannah after we were done with communion, and I had a word for her that was about leaning on God. But it was really cool that like I went from this moment of like, when I was a student, I thought Hannah was the coolest person ever, and I wanted to be just like her. And then I had a word for her, and it was really cool and really weird, but it was a really cool moment. I don't know if it landed, because that's always the thing. Whenever you like have a word for someone or like pray for them or something, it's always like, was that right at all? Yeah, so Jesus did a lot of good things in me, especially in me for sure this weekend, and then in my friends as well, and in the people that I don't know that were there. And yeah, he's really good. I also, fun fact, I asked someone to come to church today. He is super sick, so we said no, but it was just cool that like, again, I feel like God is using me again, and I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of the things that He has for me, the things that He wants to do for me, and I think that I had to overcome this. He had to move this mountain in my life before I was able to do things again, and I think that He really did. I'm like getting emotional, and just really reminded me that I am capable, and that I am called, and that He loves me, because I've been doubting that a lot lately, because, you know, it's really easy to say that, like, you know, God loves you, but, like, God loves everyone, and so why does He love me, even though I'm so broken and have messed up so much? Like, how does He love me too? but he does. He really does. Even when it doesn't feel like he's there, and even when I can't feel his love, doesn't mean that he doesn't love me. And he really reminded me of that this week. So, yeah, God's really cool. Summit was really fun. I've been talking for so long. I always do this. So, I'm going to go to bed now. I'm not going to go to bed. It's like 7:30. I'm not going to go to bed. But I am going to chill out, put some jammies on. I have to plan my outfit for tomorrow. But, yeah. So, I'm going to pick out an outfit and then I'm going to go to bed. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Someone was so great. And I love Jesus. And I am grateful for him. That's all I have for you. So, alright. Good night. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.